A lot of these Democrats seem to think that Trump's style is going to sink him. Where have they been?
The Dems and the media spent his first term with their hair on fire over his tweets. 4 years later, their solution is they let their hair grow out again and set it on fire again. And it's not working. Trump gives them so much. And all they do is cry. No, 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 make it stop. Make the mean man stop. Look, you had 4 years of hibernation. You didn't have to do squat. You get nothing from us. It's funny now you have to do your job and nobody cares. It's like there's nothing the media can do. Nobody trusts you. You're like you're like the sound of an air conditioner in a room. We just got used to the hum. We don't even know you're there. You know what the funny thing is? The Dems don't understand Trumpers. That Trumpers understand that Trump is a package deal. You know, we know what we're getting with Trump, and it's an all-inclusive package. And maybe there's some things you could do without it, but you can't do Trump a la carte. There's just no way to do it. I used to think that he won in spite of Trump's tweets. I think now he won because of it, because the outbursts and his kind of tone and attitude tells you everything's in working order. It's like, you know, when you have a Shelby Mustang in the driveway, you hear the engine, it's loud, it's scary, but it's working. Meanwhile, the Democrats' car is in the garage, it's up on blocks, and it's sputtering every time you turn the key.
Well, and after Biden, you know, radical transparency, Jesse, might be exactly what the doctor ordered for the country. And maybe for the Democrats.
Well, first of all, Greg just called Jessica an air conditioner. And it was probably the nicest thing he ever said about her.
A white noise machine.
Hey, if you don't have air conditioning, though, you would be upset.
Yeah, but you know who wanted to ban it? Democrats.
That's right.
not true.
And
have your
gas,
dishwasher,
grills,
have your air conditioner.
Jessica. And that's why my hair looks flat today, because it's a slow flow shower. Not anymore. So Trump was like a presidential shock jock. And for 10 years, they're still shocked. They're not shocked anymore. Everyone got over it right away. It was only shocking because he was saying things that no other politician had ever said. Everybody in their private lives said the same things and thought the same things. And that's why he loved them, because he said the same things we all felt in our heart. Now, if you're pretending to still be shocked now, while at the same time trying to act like him, trying to say, we need our own Trump. And Adam Schiff sounds like this Democrat Dirty Harry. Over my dead body. Get the F out of here. And how do we talk like men? And then every time a real man talks, they're like, oh, my God, I can't hear this. You guys got to pick a lane and figure it out. Now, the Joe Biden stuff. I'm just remembering these conversations I had with the air conditioner. And we would say stuff like, where's he been for 6 days? And you'd be like, well, he just had a cabinet meeting. We'd be like, but it was staged, Jessica. Oh, well, he just did a sit-down interview. Yeah, it was with Dylan. These are the kind of things we were going through. And Tapper saw it. Tapper saw him almost fall asleep with Al Roker. He almost, like, what was that? An interview that he skipped for the Super Bowl, which is a layup. So now they're acting like, oh, we didn't see anything. He skipped the Super Bowl interview. That's when you knew. That's when you knew it was all over. They were in on hiding Biden.
And he slept with Al Roker?
He slept with Al Roker.
My goodness.
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Wow. It's intense. Rosanna, you know this. You work in media. We live in a content world. And you can make content. You can react to content. But you can't stand still. But the Democrats have been standing still and just hoping that Trump falls. They hoped that he was going to go to jail. They hoped that he was going to lose the election. They just hope that he will go away. And that now they're hoping that people will just get tired of him because of his style. And meanwhile, the Democrats' popularity continues to go down while Trump's is, you know, it's down relative to where it was, Jessica, I agree. But it's still better than where they are.
Well, you know, the Democrats used to have their finger on the pulse. But let's face it, 6 months later after the election, and they're still trying to figure out what went wrong. So they go to this highfalutin hotel. And they sit down and they try to figure out what they did wrong, what their new message is. And then everybody finds out they went to, you know, a very expensive hotel. And that, are they tone deaf? Are they not listening to the American people? The Democrats were a party of lunch pail voters, labor unions. They had their finger on the pulse, championing labor, fair wages, social issues. They've gone so far from their original cause. I think that they're looking to find a messenger And right now, I don't think they have one in mind. It
Jessica,
seems every few weeks
let me just open it
they have
up
somebody
to you.
new.
Let me open up to Jessica then. Like, do you think they have a messenger now that is effective?
Yeah,
The
I do.
Democrats? Who?
I think Bernie Sanders and AOC are very effective messengers.
So do we.
But they're but
that's not about
that's
who's
in
going to
such in
lead the
contrast
ticket.
with what like a Rahm Emanuel is saying that
Totally,
the party
and
needs.
I enjoy listening to Rahm Emanuel and hearing from him, and I'm glad that he's all over the media circuit as well. But there is something compelling in the energy that AOC and Bernie are bringing. And you see that in the reaction of people going to these rallies who say, this isn't even my politics. You think that Iowa is full of, Idaho
So
is
they
full
like
of people.
the energy, but the policies are terrible?
It's not about policy right now. The election is 18 months away for the midterms even, not even the presidency. People are desperate to see the Democrats have a pulse. They like Chris Murphy right now, who has a completely moderate set of policies. He has, if you watch him, he's creating content constantly. He's right now walking across the state of Connecticut, talking to voters.
He has a moderate.
Who's Chris Murphy?
Chris Murphy, the
He's terrible.
senator
Is
from
that a
Connecticut.
joke?
I mean, I know, but I mean,
the one who said
seriously.
that he didn't have daughters, so he couldn't talk about transgender
Yeah, he's a coward.
sports.
He grew a beard too.
Yep. What's
He's not
that
a
about?
he's
Now,
not a
can I
man.
say-
He's not a man.
I think that's biologically incorrect.
No. I think
okay.
he's trans.
Stop it.
I don't know. Trans
There's-
men are men, or trans men
We're
women.
not-
Sure.
Well, we'll figure it out in the C block, which is about trans women.
What does C stand for?
What?
It
There
stands
is-
for up next.
No. There is an important distinction to be drawn between being accessible and being good, or delivering truth, or actually saying what's going on in the world. And now I'm all fuddled up in my head. But
He told Bibi Netanyahu to
Bibi,
cut it out.
we don't call him Bibi.
I always get that name wrong.
Well, don't. He's
Bibi.
important. Donald Trump does this thing. Not only, like today, he says, we got 5.1 trillion in the Middle East. It was 1.5 trillion like a week ago. But most importantly, he sits down for these interviews, and I think Biden should have been more accessible. Maybe we would have had a competitive primary if he had been more accessible. But he does these interviews, and then he says, I don't know, or I'm not sure. Like, Kristen Welker asked him, do you need to uphold the Constitution? I don't know. Ask a lawyer. Are you sending migrants to Libya? I don't know. Ask Homeland Security. You just announced a new nominee for Surgeon General who didn't graduate from med school. Why? Bobby likes her. I don't know her. You have the power to bring back Abrego Garcia. I don't make that decision. Lawyers do.
You were
Just
arguing
'cause
on behalf of him right now.
No, I'm not. I'm saying that is what the criticism is of him. He may be in front of you, but that doesn't mean that he's not spewing utter BS.
But you know what? I got to say.
What do you have to say?
I have to say that the hardest thing that you're dealing with, and I think a lot, is that nobody respects the media enough to give them an answer after what they did to the American people for 4+ years. They covered up. So it's like
Then
when
let's stop talking about Jake Tapper.
No, I've
How?
never stopped
What kind of
talking.
a
How
suggestion?
dare you?
Give me a break.
All right.
Click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis. You won't get it anywhere else.